Here we go. 10 years ago, I joined internet dating for the first time. I joined OkCupid 10 years ago. And that was before everything was a swiping app. It was a lot more chill. You know, you had a whole profile that you'd fill out, and then no one would read it and just go based off pictures anyway. But it was much easier. And I was in my early 20s, fresh out of a long-term relationship that I was in college with my longtime college girlfriend. And I was new to dating in my early 20s, learning how to date like an adult. Because the last time I was single, 4.5 years ago, I was 18, 19. Dating was just let's drink in someone's basement. And you can't really pitch that as an adult for a date. People aren't into it. As you get older, you just have to move up levels in the house to drink and fool around, right? And then when you're the most mature, you have to fuck on a roof deck. That's when you've made it. But yeah, I was trying to date home for the summer for my second senior year of college, just trying to figure it out. So I joined OkCupid and connected with this woman and went on my first OkCupid date, and it went fine. It went fine. I think I did a lot of things right. We met up in a neutral area. You know, we both drove to the date separately. We had some food. We had a couple drinks. We got along great, talked, flirted, and eventually got to the point where I was do you want to get out of here? And I was all right, yeah, let's do that. I did not plan ahead, though. I was not ready for that because I lived at home with my parents between my second and third senior year of college. I was just at home with them. And so I didn't want to go back to my place. And then she lived in New Jersey, so that was not a good option either. So we were trying to figure out what should we do? And we decided maybe we can just take a drive around the neighborhood and maybe find a spot to fool around in the car. That was our compromise. Let's go with that. So this is Northeast Philly, if you guys are familiar. We ended up driving around. You guys are going to know the spot. We ended up driving around and ended up in the far northeast at the Muscle, Bone, and Joint Center. And they had a kind of a private little parking lot. It's they're not open at these hours. We're not visible. Kind of a wooded area, so it was kind of perfect to just park and fool around. I'm telling you where it is because I don't use this spot anymore, so I'm not worried about it getting too crowded. I don't have my parents at home anymore, so I can just bring people home with me. Not to flex, but yeah, I can do that now. So we fool around in the car. We steam up the windows Titanic style, and it's going pretty good. And then as it's escalating, I realize, I don't have a condom. And I tell her, I was I don't have a condom. And she's that's fine, we just won't have sex. It's all right, that's cool. Because, honestly, I didn't think I'd get this far. You know, I didn't think it would go this well. It's my first online date. I forgot about condoms. It wasn't something I considered. So I didn't have a condom. She's all right, we're not going to have sex, but I still want to get you off. And that's so nice. That was really cool of her. So I'm in the driver's seat of the car, and she is giving me a hand job. And usually a hand job's something I'm no thanks. It's a little juvenile, but also we're fooling around in a car in a parking lot. So when in Rome, and I'm not going to turn down this hand job. And I got to admit, she did great. Second best hand job I've ever gotten, behind myself. She crushed it. If I ever had a bad week where my arms were sore and I could call in backup, I'd call her. So she did a great job, but as she's getting me closer to coming, I'm realizing oh shit, I don't have anything to clean this up if it happens. I didn't have a CVS receipt or anything. So I said to her, you can put that away. And she was oh, do you not like it? I was no, you're doing great. I just don't know what I'm going to do if I come. And she's don't worry about that. I got you covered. And I was oh, all right, let's do this. So I lean back. I enjoy it. I finish. And as I'm finishing, she just aims my dick at me. I come all over my belly and chest. I'm not thrilled about it. I was like, I thought you said you'd take care of it. And she's like, don't worry, I'm not done yet. And then she proceeded to just rub it all over me. I'm a hairier guy. I have all that chest hair that's just getting smeared in there. She rubbed it all over my belly and chest. And then when she was done, she wiped her hand off on my arm because she didn't want it on her either. And it was a valuable lesson I learned in dating is always be prepared. So I always have a condom and I keep a box of tissues in my car just in case. Thank you guys.